Hi, my name's Jim Bob Fleming. I just had a TLIF procedure done on S1-L5 and L5-L4, so they call that a two-level. When I was looking up before surgery, I struggled to find there was a few good guys out there that really helped me kind of put things into perspective, what to expect. So I figured I would do a weekly video and kind of give everybody a heads up. Is what to expect. Maybe be helpful for somebody. That's a week ago, a little over. I'm late a couple days, but it was a busy weekend. We don't get much rest around here. Uh, so at the end of the video, I'll give a little background on uh, what what I experienced on the way up to the surgery. That way, not everybody has to stick around for it. Okay, so a little bit about myself. Grew up in a real small town on a farm, rough and rowdy on dirt bikes my whole life. Then I worked construction. My grandfather had a construction company, so I started pretty young roofing and construction. So there was never a shortage of stuff to be lifted. I'm sure that helped a little. But then in 2005, I was in a car accident. I had a lady rear end me real bad, and it shifted a bunch of stuff and ruptured my one disc. And they wanted to do a disc shave and some different things then, and I opted out of it at 25. I couldn't handle the thoughts of back surgery. It just wasn't my time then. So I dealt with it, suffered through a lot of years. I'm almost 43 now. But then I was doing a tile floor here in the house, trying to get done before Christmas, and it ended up messing the other side up that compensated for everything. So everything kind of went hog wild after that, and I realized it was time to get it fixed. Um, so what to expect? My went in the day of the surgery, and they all prep you a little different and tell you what, and you need to do what your surgeon has. Let me start by saying that I'm no surgeon. I just sharing my experience. Um, so I had the procedure Friday. Saturday, I woke or got up Friday, felt pretty decent, was still under a lot of the meds. I actually got out of the stretcher that they took me up to my room in and walked to my bed. Um, Feeling pretty good. So Saturday, I woke up. They removed the cath, which I wanted it earlier, and she explained to me that because of the meds, it was a good chance that I'd have to be straight cathed over and over again if I didn't empty my bladder. So that changed my mind real quick, and I went back to being okay with them removing it in the morning. So they removed that in the morning. I struggled a lot that day to go to the bathroom. That was to pee. I couldn't pee very well at all. It was pretty painful, and it was hard to push. Didn't want to push too hard. But all in all, Saturday, I felt better, way better than I did the day before the surgery. I was up walking around too much, actually. I passed everything physically that I needed to do other than going to the bathroom to go home the first right out of the gate. Then that night, I suffered pretty bad for it because I guess the rest of the pain meds wore off the spinal block and that kind of stuff. So I wasn't sure how much of that was still in there. It turns out more than I thought. So my advice is don't push real hard that first day when you feel really good. So that night was miserable. I woke up Sunday, and the new struggle was trying to get a number two out. But I was a little sore from the day before just because I had overdone it. So I took it real easy that day. I mean, I was up and around. I got up and went to the bathroom. I made sure I was getting up and down. I don't sit real well. So I took it pretty easy. And then that day, they were actually thinking of sending me home. And my drain that they had in my back, I got like 240 cc's. They wanted me to be under 100 to go home. So I was a little high on that. I was blaming the heparin for thinning everything out too much, but that was just me being ornery. So I suggest listen to your nurses and do what they tell you. Uh, then, uh, so Sunday night was a really good night. I slept a lot. Um, Monday, I woke up. The draining slowed down through the night really good. They got like, I think it was 60 cc's overnight and then like 30 that day. But I felt really good. I didn't want to push too much because I knew I was going home. That was going to be a big trip home. But I was still up and around a lot. Got cleaned up and uh, went through normal stuff. It was hectic getting out of the hospital, as it always is. On my way home, we stopped and caught my boy's Little League game. This is his first year in Little League, so I didn't want to miss that. I've been helping coach, so it's hard on him. He's 6, so it was hard on him to be in that. I missed my older boy's pole vaulting, which was I wanted to make, um, but it's probably good because it kept me from overdoing it a little bit. Um, Tuesday, if I wonder why I keep looking down here, I wrote myself some good notes, so I didn't miss any high points. Um, the big thing Tuesday, I was noticing little improvements, like getting down into bed wasn't so terrible, getting out of bed wasn't so terrible, getting up and down on the toilet. I mean, all in all, it's really hard the first week as far as my experience goes because I felt so much better than I did before the surgery. I mean, you have your normal surgery pain, you expect that you're gonna have that, like little sore pain. But as far as like the big buckle your legs and drop you to the ground kind of pain, that was all fixed. So it's really hard for me not to overdo it because I'm so used to pushing through it on a normal basis before I've done it since '05. Um, so, anyways, Tuesday, um, I ended up going to my daughter's softball game in the evening, and it was a little better experience. It wasn't quite as cold. Didn't have to worry about the shiveries so much. Um, and I started really weaning back my meds on Tuesday. Um, I went for a small walk with my wife, probably I don't know, maybe half a mile, a little more than that. Um, then Wednesday, getting out of bed, like I said, every day you're getting little improvements, and you, it's so nice to be on that side where you know you're heading better than before the surgery, where you're just devastated because you know it's just pain, and you're not going to magically grow a disc. You're not going to just feel better. Uh, so Wednesday, I I went for a long walk. Actually, I walked down to the bottom of the road. It was probably a little over a mile down, and I was pushing a little too hard. And my wife actually picked me up because she had come home to help me get cleaned up. And so she came down and picked me up. And it was a good thing she did because I was a little sore the next day. I pushed a little too much. I have a bad habit of that. Um, so then Thursday, I took it easy due to my long walk the day before. I was hurting a little bit. So I just moseyed around the yard, did stuff outside and inside what I could. Friday was more of the same, just a lot of stuff outside. I had a couple of my kids were home, so they helped me do some stuff outside that didn't get to finish up before the surgery. Little stuff, nothing lifting or anything like that. I'm really trying to be good on not lifting over my 8 pounds and not bending around too much. So that was the first week. All in all, just so thankful that I had the procedure done. Like I said, the main harsh pains that I've dealt with for so long are gone. So it's just sore pain and getting over the surgery and trying to get things rolling that way. The hardest part for me is trying not to overdo it because I do feel better than I did before. Um, so, you know, Thursday I even helped in the dugout with my boys' game and help, get everybody out to bat and stuff. So definitely more functional than what I expected to be. Um, so here's the part I'll say a little bit before surgery. It's a part everybody kind of overlooks, but you feel hopeless because you're not really improving anything. Anything you do isn't really benefiting. You've tried all the therapy, you've tried all the shots, and you're kind of giving up hope to be at the point where you're having the surgery. Uh, so there's no uphill climb. It just feels like you're staying there in the bottom where you're just going to be in pain forever. Um, I heard a lot of people struggling on when is it time for surgery. I knew it was time. I mean, I knew it was coming long before it was here, and tried to avoid it at all cost. Really wasn't eager on having somebody cut into my back. Um, so going up to surgery, that last month when you know you're scheduled, you know you have a surgery, it's miserable because you got all that stuff to get done that you want to get done because you're trying to prep yourself for a long downtime, and everything hurts just as bad. It doesn't go away, but you know you got to get stuff done. So you keep pushing and you keep inflaming everything. You keep everything hurt. You're trying to get more done than what you physically can because your list keeps growing in your head. So my suggestion on that is don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Don't, I mean, get the major stuff that you know you got to get done. Try to fit in as much of the other stuff as you can, and don't let your body or your brain go crazy on you and push you too far into the ground because you don't want to be all sore before you start to the point that it's miserable to recover. Um, so far at the end of week one, tickle pink. Just I couldn't be happier with the outcome this far. I'm going to keep trying to be good, and I'll keep posting videos for anybody that needs it. I'm figuring on doing a weekly video, I think, and then I'll probably space that out once it gets to where it's just same old, same old. Um, so I heard a guy going back a little bit. I'm kind of rambling, but I heard a guy say that when your compensating methods no longer exceed the pain, it's time to have surgery. And I think that was very well put. It kind of stuck with me a little bit because I had been there for years. I fought against it. I didn't want to have surgery. My I had grandparents that had struggled with back surgery and struggled a lot to get back to 100%. And you know, things have advanced so much and changed. So it was a big deciding factor on it was time because they come so far. I did a lot of research on disc replacement, and what I come up with personally was because of the vascular system that runs on the inside of your spine, it's not really a good idea for a replacement in my mind because it once that heals back, it's dangerous to operate on you, and most won't. So if that fails, you're kind of stuck, and that's why I decided to go with fusion. Do your own research, figure that out. Uh, but when you know, you know. My last month, I spiraled so far downhill. I went roller skating with the kids, and I was being careful and making sure not to fall. And then, like a week before my procedure, I went with them for a birthday party, and I went to roller skate with them, and I couldn't keep my right leg underneath me. Like I just physically was going downhill. I was starting to develop drop foot a little bit, having some big problems because everything had been pinched so bad for so long. But I noticed a lot of the pains in my legs have gone. Like the my ankle, I've had a surgery on my ankle. I've had all kinds of problems with it, but a lot of those pains went away. Other nerve problems that I was having, I didn't realize with my back, ended up benefiting from that too. So uh, thank you guys for listening. Leave me comments. I do have some videos of the hospital. Maybe if I get enough comments, if you guys really want to see that, I'll throw a video together of that. If not, then yeah, mostly me just realizing I was still on meds, I think. But yeah, I have some music. If you want to check that out, feel free. And I'll keep you posted. I'll do another video next week and let you know how I'm doing. So everybody have a blessed day, and thanks for paying attention to me. Bye.